Sadia had never seen the old boarding house before, though she had lived in the city for 5 years. The building stood in a narrow lane, wedged between two crumbling shops, its facade warped from decades of neglect. The sign above the door simply read, "Rooms for rent" in peeling gold paint. She needed a place fast. Her previous landlord had doubled the rent overnight, and this was the only place still cheap enough for her meager salary. The woman who opened the door looked as though she'd been carved from shadows, thin, pale, with eyes too large for her gaunt face. "You'll take the room?" The woman asked before Sadia could speak. How much is it?" Sadia asked. 8,000, food included. That was less than half the usual. Too good to refuse. The woman smiled faintly. "You'll be in the last room at the end of the hall. Keep the door locked at night." The hallway was long, dimly lit by a single flickering bulb. Old wallpaper peeled in strips, exposing damp, cracked plaster beneath. The air smelled faintly of mold, and something sweeter, almost metallic. Her room was small but livable: bed, desk, wardrobe. The single window faced a brick wall only a meter away. At the far corner, she noticed something strange. The wallpaper pattern there didn't quite match the rest of the room. A small bulge, like something pressing out from behind. That night, she lay in bed, listening to the muffled creaks of the house settling. Then she heard it, a knock, not from her door, from inside her room. The knock came from the wall behind the mismatched wallpaper. She froze, listening. Knock, knock. Then a voice, muffled and strained. "Let me out." Her breath caught. She told herself it was a dream, but the next night, it came again, knocking, whispering, begging. She pressed her ear to the wall and whispered back, "Who are you?" The voice shivered. "They put me here. They'll put you here next." She barely slept after that. In the morning, she confronted the landlady. "There's someone in the wall." The woman's eyes were cold. "Nonsense. It's an old house. The wood shifts at night." Sadia noticed the faintest smile as the woman turned away. That evening, Sadia decided to test the wall. She fetched a knife from her bag and made a small cut in the wallpaper. The smell hit her first: sweet, rotten. She gagged and peeled more away, revealing a wooden panel, stained dark with something old. Her hands trembled as she pried it open. A pale, skeletal face stared back, mouth open, eyes wide, nails worn to stubs from scratching. The body was curled unnaturally, as though it had been shoved into the wall while still alive. She stumbled back, knocking over her lamp, and then the body's head twitched. The thing unfolded itself with slow, unnatural movements, bones cracking, skin stretched too tight. It was smiling. "You opened the door," it whispered in a voice she recognized. Her own voice. Sadia ran for the hallway, but the corridor seemed longer than before, stretching into darkness. Doors on either side swung open, just enough for pale hands to grope out toward her. She screamed and ran faster, but the hallway bent and twisted in impossible ways. When she finally reached the front door, the landlady stood blocking it. "We've been waiting for you," she said. Something cold clamped around Sadia's ankles and yanked her backward. She clawed at the floor, but the shadows pulled her down, back toward the end of the hall. The wallpaper closed behind her. The next morning, a new tenant arrived. The landlady smiled and handed him a key. "Last room at the end of the hall. Keep the door locked at night."